Hi guys, it's Colette. Welcome back to my channel, A Wee Coffee and Chat. I haven't done one of these for a month, but it's been a bit of a mad month, but we're getting there now. So I'd just like to know that if you're okay and life's been okay for you, let me know how you've been doing. Um, yeah, don't know where to start actually. Um, Very muted Christmas and New Year, but still a nice one. Mostly done on Zoom, um, because my elder daughter, uh, initially some other family members had COVID, and then um, my elder daughter got it, and she was suffering a lot with it and still helping to look after a wee boy who, my grandson, who was a wee bit, what we would say, hangy. And then he come down with chicken pox. So my poor daughter's husband had a COVID person and a chicken pox person, a toddler in the house. And it was hard not to be able to help out, but I was there on the end of Zoom, and that's all you can do when there's an infectious disease, especially when you don't have a great immune system. But I'm just grateful we're all getting through things, to be honest. And I did have the super cold that was going out earlier than that, or was it after it? Do you know? I even can't remember now. But I tested negative a few times for COVID. I really thought I had it, but it was a super cold. And it was dire. One of the worst. Well, I think last year with wearing masks and everything, I never actually got a cold, but this one was a cracker. So a week or 10 days just went past with that, where nothing was moving in the house at all. um, and also, just about a couple of weeks ago, yeah, Benji come back from having a bath and a grooming, um, and my friend that took him, he jumped out of our car and get caught up in Nellie's lead, I believe, and he pulled a muscle in his back leg. And that was a treat. And any of you that have no particularly smaller dogs, when they're in pain, they can squeal, and it was heartbreaking, but he's fine now, back to normal. We just he was immobilized a lot, and basically um, he just healed, which was good, with some painkillers and stuff in the background. So we had family members ill, we'd me ill, and we'd Benji off. So I am, and the thing is, I say I was glad to get into 2022, but the COVID stuff and the chicken pox were just the day before New Year. So yeah, I was like, can we rewind and start again? But as things happen, you just burrow on, don't you, and get on with it. So, um, so I managed to get some videos done last week and some this week, which is good for me, because sometimes I put the effort into one week and I'm not well enough the following week. So it's nice to have had a bit of momentum over the last couple of weeks. I've enjoyed that, and I'm just doing things when I want, when I can. I'm not really sticking to a strict timetable, because I want to go on with writing the grandmother book and I want to do videos, but they both take different types of energies. I know that sounds crazy, but I tend to, if I do videos, I tend to get very sore because of sitting and moving around with the camera and stuff like that. Um, so I wouldn't be able to maybe write the day after that. So they have different energies, and those of you out there that have chronic pain conditions will know yourself that there's certain things that you can do one day but not the next, and you have certain amounts of energy for different things. And I used to try and be quite rigid with that. I'll do that then, and then have a break, and then that, and it's not been working for me. So now I never judge how I am first thing in the morning, because if I judged that, I'd never do anything, to be honest. But after a few coffees and some breakfast, I then think, right, how am I feeling? And if I'm feeling as though I could do some videos, I'm all set up, ready to go, shove the red lippy on, off we go. And if I'm feeling like a wee bit sore or whatever, I'll either rest that day, or I'll do a little bit of writing, sometimes with talk to type. So it's becoming more balanced, which I like. But I'll just be happy when I can see my girls and Alexander properly without a fear of infection of any sort. That will be that'll be the icing on the cake. So, how have you been? Have you had COVID? Have you not? Have you had the super cold, which was bad? And how are you feeling about 2022? There's a lot we can't control outside of us, and sometimes that really impacts our life, and we can't control what happens in our lives either. So I'm very much trying to be moderate in expectations, I suppose, and be ready to do the things that I want if and when the circumstances are right, and that's the only way I could do it. I also was looking at things that I might want to do more for myself. The writing is for myself, but it is my income as well. So it's very much right. I want a book out on this subject, maybe next August, or who knows. But so that's still a day job as such, with YouTube. So I do really, really enjoy it, but the aspects sometimes of editing and putting things in places and whatever it can be work. So Jim's brilliant in that you can lose himself in various things if he's thinking about something, or he has his hobbies. And so I've always loved poetry, and I've written bits and bobs of poetry, but my daughter gave me a book that had a little poetry course on it, and follow it through and do the stuff, and I was like, So to get me in the mood, I actually bought some poetry books, to sort of, I don't want to be learning but not reading it. So the first one I got was Amanda Gorman, called Call Us What We Carry. This was the lovely young woman that did President Biden's inauguration speech, and that whole speech to me that she did, the poem was absolutely stunning. So I'm really excited about that one. And this one had caught my eye. It's by Donna Ashworth, and it's History Will Remember When the World Stopped, and it's poetry for the pandemic. And much as though maybe we want to leave the pandemic behind, I always believe with things that are major like that we can't just say, well, we're getting there a bit and it'll be done and we'll never look back. We have to focus on things so that things can be done differently, or we can understand what has happened for other people. So I think this will be a wonderful read, and I think I'll gain a lot from it in understanding. The other one is by the same poet, Donna Ashworth, and it's called The Right Words, and it's just one of our bestsellers. Again, poetry, and I've got various poetry books outside. In the hall in the bookcase, but And there's a few I go back to all the time and just enjoy. My dad liked poetry, even though he wasn't a person that necessarily read books and stuff. He seemed to be able to just recite poetry when it was a certain day or a certain feeling was needed. And I always thought that was an interesting one, that even though my mum loved writing and she loved her books, but my dad would come out with poetry at times, even if it was just, you know, really well known ones like Wordsworth or whatever, and obviously Burns at times as well. So I'm looking forward to giving myself time to relax into the poetry course and also read the poetry books. Just for me, not for anybody else. I write poetry when I feel I've got to get something down quickly. My poetry is not necessarily well thought out. I just splurge it as it comes and then go back and tinker with it a wee bit. But it, like the poem I did about George Floyd, was of that moment. So my poetry is almost reactive. And I'd like to be able to do other types of poetry that are not just reacting to any one traumatic situation. So that's my plan. Are you starting any new hobbies or things in the year ahead? I'd love to hear if you are. And remember that, you know, they don't need to be spiritual or creative. They can be exercise, whatever you feel. I know someone that's delving into cooking, and thoroughly enjoying making very, very wholesome and good meals from scratch. And again, it's not a resolution, it's a thing that she wanted to do and is enjoying it. And for so long, I've wanted to study a wee bit more of the poetry. The thing is, going back, reading some of the start with things like iambic pentameter and stuff like that. I remember being age 14 and being taught it at my school, which was quite a posh wee school. And it's actually interesting reading the aspects of poetry, you know, the basics of it, took me straight back to the classroom and Miss McElwee, my teacher. It's, you know, it's amazing the way certain things can do that, isn't it? You don't think of things for ages and then one thing takes you right back. I could even smell, you know, the floors, the way the floors smell in schools. Well, they used to. This was an old building. So that was interesting, and I think if more of that happens, I'll be quite happy like that. So anyway, I'm babbling on. Basically, I just thought, I haven't even drank my coffee either. I just thought I'd fill you in on how we've been and how I'm aiming to go with the flow and go ahead. This coffee looks incredibly strong, but it is. So hopefully get some more videos done. Keep in touch with me and enjoy a wee coffee with me occasionally. And I hope to see you soon. If you're new to the channel, the coffee and chats might not be for you. If you've lasted this long, maybe they are, but they're just me catching up with folk, because I like when the people get back to me in the comments and tell me how they are, because that's the most important thing. So I am looking forward to kind of just going with the flow of this. So there'll be some weeks maybe there are videos, there'll be other weeks there won't be, but know that the videos you get will be ones that I want to do, and I'm excited for doing, and I think that shows. So many blessings now. Take care. Bye.